Let's go to Lindsay in Woodbridge, Virginia. Lindsay, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call today.
You bet. Thanks for giving us a shot. What's going on?
So I have a question about baby step 2 and whether or not I need to put money aside for a possible divorce. So I've been married for 8 years. I have several young children. I am the working mom, and then my husband is a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
Great dad, really good dad, and we are really great roommates. We're
Okay.
best friends. We do everything together. But from the day we got married, I knew there was something wrong.
Okay.
I initially thought there was something wrong with me because we had no intimacy, no, cuddling, just like there was something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I found out during my last pregnant just a couple years ago that he cross-dresses, and he has been in a relationship with at least one other man prior to getting married to me. Nothing after getting married to me that I know of.
Okay.
I can't be attracted to someone who is actively cross-dressing, and he is not interested in anything without it.
Okay.
And so while we are really good roommates, I am very, very lonely,
Yes.
very lonely.
Yeah.
And some days I just don't think I can do it.
Mm.
But other than that, we are really, we're good friends. Our kids are happy. I don't think our kids have any clue that we have any relationship problems. And so with us being in the middle of baby step 2, we've paid off about $200,000. We have just under $200,000 to go.
Are you a doctor?
Yes, I am.
Okay, there you go. I was going to say, man, that's a lot of student loans,
That's
right?
a great guess.
That's good.
Yes, but we're almost done.
Yeah.
I don't know, should I stop it and put money aside for a possible divorce, or if I am content enough, should I just keep going and keep working on the baby steps and just ignore that aspect? We have tried counseling. He's not interested in any changes. He's not interested in following up in counseling.
So where does that put you? When you say possible divorce, he's not interested in any counseling. You've already expressed your emotion and where you're at. So where are you at when you say possible divorce?
While I'm content most of the time, I am so lonely sometimes. I don't know how long I can stay married to someone.
Lindsay, what
who's just not attracted.
what kind of doctor are you?
I'm primary care.
Okay. So I'm going to speak to you like a fellow geek for a second. Is that okay?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You know the JAMA, the Journal of American Medical Association, the diseases of despair data, don't you?
Yes.
We are amidst a loneliness epidemic that is killing us through all sorts of chaotic inflammatory responses, right? Whether it is addiction, or whether it is people taking their own lives, or whether it is what the articles are calling long tail suicide through organ disease failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just speaking geek to you for a second as a way to soften the blow here, but you can't live a life of loneliness. Yeah. Just because he's a great father, just because y'all are great roommates, doesn't mean that you've got to stay married and you've got to stay lonely, right? Part of a marriage is two people working together to co-create a future. And I don't care what the other, like the fact that he has been with other people, the fact that he has a way of showing his authenticity to himself, to his core group of people, and you have said, I don't want to be a part of that moving forward, and he has said, well, tough luck, then I don't want to be the one to tell you this, Lindsay, but you called the show. He has said, my authenticity in this moment is more important than being married to you.
Yeah, that's a really nice way of saying that. I'm going to jump in and say he's made it very clear he doesn't want to be married to you. He doesn't want to fix it. This is a whole different deal.
Or he wants to be married on his terms, right?
I can't. I just don't. That's not being married. So there is a relationship contract. It's not a legal document. I think married is we're married.
Together. That's right.
No, it's not just in the same house. This guy may be a fantastic roommate, but you're going to crash. You're going to crash hard.
You have crashed, haven't you?
Might have.
You have.
Yeah.
I was admitted for depression a couple of years ago, but I've gotten to the point where I recognize it wasn't my failing in the marriage. I gave it everything I had.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's left? What are you waiting on?
It's hard to do it looking at my kids.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, that's true. Let's talk about the financial piece, John, here, because you've got $200,000 left. So yeah, we want you to pause because you're in the midst of a really big storm, and so you need to pause paying off the debt snowball until we figure out the when, the how.
Yeah.
What's that going to look like? I mean, it's just too uncertain. So
Right.
we want to pause.
Right.
That's the financial piece.
The financial piece is, yes, you got to pause the baby steps, and because you have to use your words, because y'all are still best friends, because you've got a good relationship, you can sit down and have this. It's going to be a very hard, very challenging, but a factual conversation. Here's where we are at, and I'm not willing to continue to be lonely inside my own home anymore. And you've made it clear that you're not interested in co-creating a future together with me. And so, as Ken said, as I said, your husband's painted the picture for you, right? And now, not by your hand, but in your lap, now you're forced to make some hard decisions. And here's where we are. And I don't know that you're going to find two people more high on marriage than Ken and I. I'm not in the business of telling people in their marriage, but I am in the business of telling the truth. And the reality is, Lindsay, you've told me your marriage is over. And that it is, at this point, it's drowning you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit by and watch a friend be drowned, right? So, yeah, as far as the money goes, hard conversation. You got to pause the baby steps. Y'all going to have to make some hard decisions about how you're going to move forward together, how you're going to work out the parenting. All that stuff's going to have to happen together. This is not going to be an easy road moving forward. I hope everybody can act like an adult and y'all can work together in this transition. And I always am going to circle back to my hope for reconciliation, for people to come together. But you've been doing that for a long time. And so it's time to call what it is, and make the hard decisions together, and then continue to honor each other around your kids. Don't ever, ever, ever be in the bad-mouthing game, either of you. Honor each other in front of your kids, and this is going to be a hard season to walk. And I want to thank you for honoring us with your trust here. I know this is a hard call to make, and we'll be thinking about you moving forward.
Yeah, and I would just say this, that you've done some great things in paying off $200,000 worth of debt. You're going through some extremely, extremely painful stuff personally. Pressing pause, don't feel guilty for that for a second. You work through all this that John said, and then there's going to be a season where you'll be able to pick back up, and you'll get there. And hopefully it's whole in a healthy relationship where you're not alone. So,
and I want to call
don't
us.
second guess it.
Let's and Ken, I think it's important to not let people off the hook here. It's easy to hear a call like this and go, I don't know anybody who dresses in women's clothes or who feels this way or is attracted to people. I get this call all the time, Ken, about video games and about alcohol and about spending money and about have to have another car and a house this size, where you get somebody who's married and the person they're married to says, I'm doing my life this way without you.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Without you.
Yeah, that's right. The details and the sensational, whatever you think is sensational, whether you don't think it's sensational or not. The fact of the matter is when one of the spouses says, I'm not interested in counseling, which means I'm not interested in reconciliation.
I'm not interested in
and
you.
They've been unfaithful, then,
It's not by your hand, but in your lap, and you've got some hard decisions
So you've been
to make.
forced to deal with it, and so you don't quit living. You keep moving. I hate that for her. I really do. And the kids.
Stay in there, Lindsay. Stay in there.